Hey guys, hope you're having a nice day, and I just wanted to make this video to let you know what's happening and what's going to happen with the channel, with everything. I don't usually do this sort of stuff, so it kind of feels a little bit weird, but I don't know, I'm gonna try my best. And if you feel, I don't know, if you don't want to hear about certain topics, I will post timestamps in the description, so you can just skip to a Heroes of the Storm conversation or whatever you want to hear about if you want to. But yeah, so I guess long story short, I had kind of a mental breakdown, and I feel a lot better now, so I'm going to, I don't know, go back to making content, but I was just not able to do anything in the past I think it was couple of weeks actually, which is kind of a while. But yes, it was bad, it felt bad, but at the same time I feel like I needed it. And I will elaborate on that in a minute or so, but first, what I really want to get this message across is that if you guys ever feel, I don't know, sad or depressed, or just you feel a little bit uneasy, just try to reach out to somebody, because it can be helped, right? There are lots of ways to improve your, let's say, mental health or whatever, but also there are probably people around you that actually care about you, even if it doesn't feel like that sometimes. So just give them a chance, I guess, to help you, maybe. I don't know, whoever you have next to you, your peers, your family, your friends, whoever you might have, just reach out to them, because it can be helped. And mental health is something that's very important in my opinion. It's probably more important than your physical health, because I feel like we're at the point in, I don't know, in medicine or whatever, where we can fix most of our physical problems, right? Whereas most of our mental problems cannot really be helped, especially if you just brush them off as, it doesn't matter, I feel so depressed today, but I'm just gonna take a walk and it's probably gonna be better tomorrow or whatever. Just, I don't know, don't really do that. I mean, it might help and do something about it, but also take care of yourself. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. And if you have a friend or a family member or whatever who suffers from some mental problems, just let them know that you are there for them. Even if they say that they don't care or whatever, or they don't need help, just make sure to let them know that you're here and they can talk to you, and you are a reliable person or whatever. And as long as you don't push too hard, they will probably really appreciate it, and it's gonna be helpful. So yeah. And even if you feel I don't know, maybe I often feel that, so maybe if you feel it's kind of either too late for you, or you are just way too depressed and there is no way that you will ever be fixed completely, and sometimes that's actually true, but there are always ways to make life slightly easier for yourself, slightly better, and it's worth it. Even if it's slight, if it's a slight increase in your mood or whatever, it is still worth it. So I just want to encourage you guys to do it, and don't be like me. Don't just say screw it, and just take care of yourselves, okay? And okay, so talking about this whole mental breakdown I had, because it was a very interesting experience. I mean, I suffer from a variety, I guess, of mental problems, and what kind of usually happens is I'm a little bit I'm depressed by default, right? And I don't know, I'm always fatigued and whatnot. I just don't feel that great, but sometimes your mood just goes that much lower, so you get super depressed and you just sit there not able to do anything. And then when that, I guess, depression episode you would call them, I think that's the correct term, Then when that ends, it kind of like your mood shifts into more of an euphoric state. So you become super hyper aggressive, and like you feel like you're able to do anything. And but this time, and like that's kind of like what usually happens to me. But this time it was like a completely different experience. And as much as it sucked, I feel like I said it before. I feel like I needed that. Because now I feel really like calm and balanced, and kind of the reason for that is because I guess I had a lot of pent up like energy in me, like a lot of repressed, I don't know, desires, not really desires, but I don't know, just suppressed emotions, I guess that would be the correct, yeah, suppressed emotions. So it was all kind of manifested and just released in this 2-week in this 2-week span, and it was a very interesting experience. Like, as much as I didn't feel that great with every day, like it felt easier and easier, like with every passing day, and eventually it was like, okay, now I feel great. Because like what happened is I completely isolated myself from like internet, I guess. Like I wasn't like catching up to anything, not watching any sort of like streams, videos, nothing like that. So I just said screw it. And like, because I wasn't really able to do anything productive, the only thing I was really doing is just basically resting, right? It was like a 2-week vacation almost, in a weird, distorted kind of way. But maybe I just needed some rest, maybe I needed a break or something, because I just feel decent right now. Like, and I don't remember, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember when was the last time I felt the way I feel right now. Like, I'm not agitated, I'm not depressed, I just feel calm. I feel like everything is going to be fine, and it's a good feeling to have. So yeah, now that I'm done emotionally manipulating you guys, let's talk actually about the channel, and probably why you're here, not to listen to my, yeah. So Heroes of the Storm, it's a very weird game, and I never really felt about video games the way I do about Heroes of the Storm, because I mean, with other games it was always kind of simple, right? Like, I enjoy the game, I'm gonna play it. I don't enjoy it, I'm just gonna stop playing. I get bored, I just stop playing. But with Heroes of the Storm, like, I put so much time and effort into like learning it, and kind of, like, in my mind, I technically beat the game, right? Like, I achieved Grandmaster rank in like multiple seasons, consistently kept being Grandmaster, and I feel like I can play most heroes decently, so I kind of learned that. I know how to play most of the maps, like, on a very good level, I feel like. So I feel very often I feel like there is nothing, and that's not true, because I mean, there's always something more to learn, but I feel like there is the amount of time I would need to spend in order to learn something to become a better player does not like justify the effort I would need to put into it. The amount of time I would need to invest is not worth the amount of extra skill I would get after the fact, right? So it often feels like I'm just like going through the motions when playing the game. Especially lately, it was kind of really hard to, I guess, get excited about the game. I like it. I do. I do like Heroes of the Storm, and I like making, especially I like making content about it. Like, that's probably the most fun part about it right now. And obviously I think that the game is very well designed, and like it's really good. I mean, I've been playing it for the past couple of years. I have like 5,000 games played or something like that, which is absolutely crazy. I'm actually probably catching up to my World of Warcraft playtime, which is just mind-blowing, because that game just devoured my life, and now Heroes of the Storm is kind of reaching also that point. It kind of that makes me feel really weird, because like after I stopped playing World of Warcraft like hardcore, I kind of thought that I wouldn't really get into any game like that, and now Heroes of the Storm is basically doing the same thing for me that WoW was doing for the longest time. But that's also like not really what I want to talk about. Like, I want to talk about what's going to happen with Heroes of the Storm content on the channel, because I don't want to promise you guys that I will be posting like every day, like a video every day, like I was trying to do for the past couple of months. I will probably treat it a bit differently. I will record whenever I feel like it, because very often I would just force myself to record a video because I need a video. Like, let's say today I need to post a video, and let's say tomorrow I cannot record, so I need to record 2 videos today and just have them ready for today and tomorrow. And I don't want to be doing that anymore, because that was a very depressing experience, I want to say. Like, forcing myself, I don't know, it just felt wrong. Like, it almost felt like I was cheating to my audience by forcing myself to play the game and like mimicking excitement or whatever, which was not the case, because the moment you start playing the game, like, you enjoy it, right? But like at least that's how it's for me, right? Like, the moment I start playing the game, I just get completely like devoured by it, like, completely focused by the game, and nothing else matters. But the whole setup for it, like sitting down, making it like everything prepared, like having your like OBS open up ready to record, like everything, and just sitting there on the like hero screen in the lobby and like looking at the start button. Sometimes I would just sit there like for like 10 minutes, like hesitating whether or not I want to record right now, and like I don't want that. I don't want that experience in my life. So what I'm gonna be doing like from now on, whenever I feel like it, I'm just gonna go and record. If I don't feel like it, I'm sorry, but there probably won't be any videos, maybe a day, a couple of days, maybe even for a week or so, but I will try I don't want to promise anything, but I kind of want to try to have at least a video per week. It would be really nice if I was able to put out like 3-4 videos per week, but sometimes I feel like I can only manage to make only one happen. And I want to elaborate on that a little bit more, because I guess if you like externally view it, like if you don't know about me much, or about the whole creative process of making videos, it might seem very a very simple task, a very simple hobby, but it's a little bit more complex than that, and especially in my case. Like, I think that I'm pushing myself a little bit too hard, even though it's like super simple, because I mean, to be honest, it is very simple. Like, ultimately you just sit down and talk for 20 minutes and that's it. It's not really that difficult to do, but at the same time, like, for example, right now I have like 300, I think I have 300 Heroes of the Storm videos on the channel, something like that, probably a little bit less than that. And so yeah, so those are 300 published, but very often I would just record something, and I would either stop halfway or just record it and then rewatch it and like see how awful it is. So I just delete them. Like, I probably deleted more than 1,000 videos like that. So more than a double amount of content that I actually published, I just completely throw it out. Like, it was a waste of time. And technically it wasn't, because like every single of those experiences was like a learning process, and obviously that was very helpful, because I mean, if you I don't want to like encourage you to do it, but if you go back and watch one of my first videos and compare it to what I'm doing right now, like the way I just talk, it's just completely different. It was actually one of the things that helped me to go through this whole like depression phase I had. I happened to I don't know, I don't even remember why I wanted to do it, but I just opened up my video log, went to my first video, and I just watched how horrible I was at commentating the game and like presenting myself and presenting what I'm doing on the screen, like just talking in general. It was just so awful, and it kind of made me proud in a way of how much I've, I don't know, achieved, how much I changed doing this whole YouTube thing, and it kind of revitalized my, I don't know, energy for create. Like, it made me want to create more. Like, it made me want to improve more, because as much as I always wanted to create really good content for you guys, I always felt like I was doing it for myself, not really for my audience, and because of that it sometimes really felt like it was just a complete waste of time. But like, seeing the progress I've made really made me rethink everything, and it helped a lot. And now I kind of want to try to create much better stuff than I was doing. Like, I actually want to create something really nice for you guys, because I appreciate it. Like, having 170 subscribers or whatever I have right now, like, that's actually incredible. And you keep coming back for, you always kept coming back for more every time I uploaded any sort of Heroes content, which is just mind-blowing to me. I really appreciate it, and I want to keep creating more, because it's satisfying. Like, the feeling of, I don't know, maybe I entertain you, or maybe you learn something from me, and I don't know why you watch my videos, but there must be a reason for it, right? So I like the feeling of that, like that somebody appreciates what you do is really nice, and I want to keep doing that. So that's why when it comes to Heroes of the Storm, I don't want to just shut it down completely. I want to keep going with it, because I feel like I'm making a decent job at it. So I want to keep going. So I want to keep putting out more content, and but at the same time, like, because it's very difficult for me to do those. It's a very easy format. Like, making MOBA games are like super easy. Like, if you are doing the whole gameplay thing, like if you do the whole like commentating over gameplay thing, because I mean, ultimately you don't really need to edit it much. You just record it, just maybe add an intro, add an outro, and I mean, that's basically it. Maybe cut out like some boring parts or whatever, but it's not really hard to edit or anything like that. So it's very easy, like very easy content to make. But at the same time, I feel very anxious before I record every single one of them, because I always try to I try to nail the whole commentary part of it. I try to nail the whole gameplay part of it, and sometimes it's really hard to do. So every time I fail at it, as much as I learn from it, I also like get a little bit more anxious for the next time I'm going to record. So it all kind of accumulates and makes every single video harder and harder to do, because you set certain expectations for yourself, and you are afraid to not meet them. But that's just my brain freaking out. That's my own fault, and I really want to keep doing Heroes of the Storm content, because of the reasons I said. Like, I just want to keep doing it, but at the same time I don't want to kill myself doing it, you know. So I'm going to like tone it back a little bit, and see where I'm comfortable with just putting out like creating videos consistently and not burning myself in the process. So like that would be like my goal for now for Heroes of the Storm. But at the same time, it means that I will have a lot more time to create other things, because like, I mean, what's been happening for the most part is that I would be playing Heroes of the Storm for like 8 hours a day or whatever, to just figure out everything, to learn everything, to like know everything. I'm going to like put that on pause for now, and I will mostly be playing Heroes to record footage from this point on, which would open up a lot of free time for me to do other things, which means there will be a lot more content on the channel. Hopefully, if I actually end up doing it. like for example, right now I already started publishing my Diablo playthrough. I've actually been done with it for like a month or so, and I never really, not for a month, but like 3 weeks, I think, something like that. But I never really started publishing it for whatever reason. So I'm just doing it right now. Also, I have Witcher. I started playing Witcher Wild Hunt, the third Witcher. Finally, I'm actually really excited about that game. So I'm gonna be uploading that. There is a little bit of a hold up with it though, because I kind of messed up. There are certain settings in that game that you don't really want to be enabling if you are going to be making lossy, I guess, a lossy encoding of it. And like, if you don't know, like, there are different ways to encode the video. Like, a lossless recording would try to preserve as much quality as possible, whereas a lossy recording would try to lose quality in order to maintain a certain like bitrate, a certain file size. And that's kind of what YouTube does, because it tries to compress the video into, I think it's 15 megabit per second. So with certain settings enabled in Witcher, like there is a lot of noise created on the screen, and the encoder can't actually render it properly. I can actually show you guys how it looks. I hope it's going to be like, I hope you're like, I just I just hope you will see what I'm talking about. Like, look at this. This is actually how a 1080p 60 footage looks like, because of all of the like moving grass. And I think what my biggest problem, like what I did, my biggest mistake was that I but I enabled sharpening, and what it does is that it kind of makes the, I don't know, the image very, very sharp, I guess. Not like, it's the opposite of blurring, so it makes the image very crisp, and every pixel becomes very, very unique, and that puts a lot more stress on the encoding software. So because like it cannot create references between pixels, and between frames there are less references between frames because all of the pixels move too much. So it just makes it completely unwatchable. Like, look at this. This is just horrible. So I'm trying to fix it by adding a little bit more blurring while encoding the video itself. So I just hope that it helps. I think it should, but it also makes the whole encoding process take 10 times longer, because now every single frame needs to be completely re-rendered instead of just re-encoding it. So it's a very annoying process of me rendering a video for like 60 minutes, then upload, not 60 minutes, but like, why did I say 60? For 12 hours, then uploading it to YouTube, seeing how it looks there, whether it's messed up or not, and then just hopefully it's gonna work. Hopefully it's gonna work. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm going through right now. But hey, that's my own fault. I don't have really anybody to blame for it but myself. And I mean, yeah, speaking of other games, as I said before, I have a lot more free time now, so I want to just create as much content as possible. So I'm gonna ask you guys, because your opinion really matters to me. That was a very, like, oh my god, that was a bad, like, I should not have said that. Why did I even, now that's emotional manipulation right there. But I mean it, you know, like, if there are some games, like if there are certain games that you just want to see on the channel, want to see me playing them, like, let me know. Like, just let me know. Like, post in the comments, like, play, I don't know, Binding of Isaac, or like Darkest Dungeon or whatever. As long as it's not like an online game, because I don't really want to get into online games at the moment. Like, Heroes of the Storm is already too much for me, so I don't want another like grindy thing for me that I need to learn and whatnot. I don't want that. But if there is like a single player game that you really want that for some reason you want to see me playing it, I would appreciate if you let me know, and I will try and see what I can do about it. Yeah, this was a very weird very weird video, because first of all, I don't really do these kinds of videos, and second of all, I don't really talk about myself whatsoever at all, like to anybody. So this felt really bizarre to me, but at the same time I really wanted to do it, because I'm trying to be honest with you guys. I'm just trying to show, like, I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. I don't want to hide I guess my problems or whatever, but at the same time, like, I don't really want to, like, impose my problems on you. So, like, this just feels very, I don't know, it feels like I shouldn't have done this, but I really wanted to. So that's this is going to be my justification. Like, I should not have recorded this, but I did because I really wanted to. So there you go. So yeah, thank you for just, I guess, being patient and not leaving the channel or whatever. And like, I really appreciate all of the support I've been getting. Like, that was actually amazing. That was a very good feeling. So hopefully see you next time.